Did you know that the biggest financial mistakes most South Africans make don't happen while they're working, but at the exact moment they stop? Retirement isn't just a celebration, it's a transition. And what you do with your pension at the moment will determine whether you feel secure for the next 30 years or anxious every time interest rates or taxes change. In retirement, it's likely that most of your income will come from your retirement annuity or company pension fund. That's why, if you want to achieve the highest possible income and preserve something to leave for your children, you need to optimize how you draw down from your pension fund and manage your taxes carefully. And that's not easy. There are many pitfalls, like the example I'm about to share with you, where a couple were on the verge of making a big mistake that could have cost them more than 150,000 rand a year in unnecessary taxes. Hello everyone, I'm Hardy Swart, a certified financial planner and a director at Family Wealth Custodians. Over the past 15 years, I've helped thousands of South Africans transition from work into retirement, and I've seen the same three mistakes over and over again. These mistakes can cost people their flexibility, income, and sometimes even their dignity. But the good news is, every one of these mistakes is avoidable. In this video, you'll learn the three most common and most costly pension mistakes that retirees make, real-world examples from clients we've helped, and what you can do differently to avoid running out of money if you're between the ages of 55 and 70, or even just starting to think about retirement. This is one video you don't want to miss. Hit the subscribe button for more content like this. Hit the bell so you never miss a post, and share this with someone you care about, because planning late is better than not planning at all. Quick disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only, and it doesn't constitute personal financial advice. Always speak to a qualified, fee-based financial planner before making any big financial decisions. And no matter how big or how small your pension is, these principles still apply. Let's dive in. Pat and Lindy, not their real names of course, are clients of ours. When we met them, Pat was 63 and Lindy was 60. They were ready to retire. Their goal was to generate about 85,000 rand per month in retirement income, not just to cover their lifestyle, but also to travel frequently, especially to visit their two daughters who were both living in Australia. Pat had contributed to his employer's pension fund for decades. After paying off their bond, he increased his contributions to 350,000 rand a year, which is the maximum allowable limit, and he built up a nice portfolio of just under 13 million rand. Lindy, a lifelong teacher, had about 5 million rand in her retirement annuity. They wanted to secure a net income of about R1 million a year after tax. But their retirement plan had three major problems, and any one of them could have eroded their income, flexibility, and legacy. Mistake 1. Drawing too much from one annuity. Pat and Lindy were planning to draw equal percentages from both of their living annuities, but because Pat's fund was twice the size of Lindy's, this meant that the majority of the income would come from his annuity, which would push him into a higher marginal tax bracket. In simple terms, they were going to pay far more tax than necessary. We recommended a different approach. Draw a higher percentage from Lindy's annuity, where her marginal tax rate is far lower than his, and supplement the rest with tax-free savings and discretionary investments. This strategy, based on our modeling, would save them approximately 150,000 rand per year in taxes, without reducing their lifestyle at all. Why? Income from tax-free savings is tax-free. Withdrawals from discretionary investments trigger capital gains tax, which is much lower than normal income tax rates. And Lindy's lower tax bracket is underutilized. This is what we mean when we talk about smart withdrawal strategies. Mistake 2 is committing everything to a life annuity up front. Pat and Lindy were understandably concerned about outliving their money. That fear, which is completely valid, led them to consider moving 100% of their retirement capital into guaranteed life annuities. Life annuities can play a valuable role in retirement. They offer predictable income for life, and that can be very comforting. But they also come with significant trade-offs. You have no access to capital in any emergency, no inheritance value if you pass away early, and no flexibility if inflation rises or your lifestyle needs changes. What most retirees don't realize is that life annuities are often aggressively sold by brokers because they pay large upfront commissions. And while the idea of having a guaranteed income for life sounds appealing, you need to ask yourself, is this guarantee really worth it? At Family Wealth, we believe that there's no reason to rush into any product, especially not one as irreversible as a life annuity. Rather, do your homework, understand your options, and make sure that the vehicle fits your lifestyle, goals, and legacy plans. In Pat and Lindy's case, we recommended a blended approach, where they keep a portion of their capital in a flexible living annuity and consider phasing into a life annuity later on, once health risks or income needs have increased. This gives them the protection and freedom. If you would like a detailed breakdown of the difference between a life and a living annuity, we've done a full, very comprehensive video comparing the pros and cons of each. You can find the link to this video in the description below. The third mistake is either investing too conservatively or, on the other hand, investing too aggressively. Retirees often fall into one of two traps. They either go ultra conservative and put their money underneath their cushion and lose long-term buying power, or they stay aggressive and get hurt by short-term market volatility. Neither is ideal, especially at the start of retirement. Now, let's connect this to a deeper risk that most retirees don't fully understand, the sequence of returns risk. Imagine you retired in January 2016 with a 10 million rand portfolio invested in a local equity portfolio, let's say the JSE All-Share Index. You start withdrawing 40,000 rand per month, which is about 4.8% annually. From 2016 to 2020, the JSE after inflation returns were near zero. Even though there wasn't a major market crash, your portfolio underperformed just as you started drawing an income. Over 5 years, you withdrew 2.4 million rand, while your investment barely grew. By the end of 2020, your 10 million rand portfolio had dropped to under 7 million rand. That's a 30% decline, not because of poor investments, but because of poor timing and the absence of a strategic income plan. We recommend what's called the bucket strategy. Bucket 1 is for short-term income, 0 to 5 years, in low-risk instruments. Bucket 2 is medium-term growth, 5 to 10 years, in balanced strategies. And Bucket 3 is all about long-term inflation-beating returns, 10 years plus, in equities and growth assets. This strategy shields your near-term income while allowing the rest of your portfolio time to recover and grow. That's why the bucket strategy is a core part of the Family Wealth Retirement Master Plan. At Family Wealth Custodians, we help our clients build personalized, tax-efficient, and well-diversified retirement plans so they can enjoy peace of mind for decades to come. If you prefer managing your own affairs, but you'd still like a detailed plan to achieve your retirement goals, we can help you with a fee-for-service report. Contact us to find out more. You can find a link to get in touch with us in the description below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who you care about. And if you're unsure how to structure your own retirement income, book a free discovery call with our team. The link is in the description below. You've worked hard to get here. Let's make sure your next chapter is one of freedom, security, and impact, and not fear or confusion.